Hello Internet, my name is Chris, and today in the world of cannon theory we are taking a look at different types of cannons. Now the previous episode I actually recorded earlier today, but I am probably going to release them with some time between them. So yeah, that's why you're watching it now, later than same day. So yeah. Also, it takes quite a long while for me to upload a video. Usually, for a video between 15 minutes and 20 minutes, it takes about 3 or 4 hours, I think. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're watching my videos, because it's always nice to have some feedback when you spend so much time on uploading videos for others to see. Anyway, let's get back to previous video was different kinds of projectiles, which we had that's the wrong one, where we had anvils, gravel, and sand, as well as normal TNT. Anyway, so what we're doing in this one here is taking a look at the different kinds of designs. So let's just put a sign down. Oh, why is it put there? Oh, can I not do that? Let's just do that. Different cannon. Oh, there's no space for that. Different cannon. Why do I keep writing red? I can't fucking see the I. Oh, the O, rather. Designs. Okay. So different cannon designs is what we're going through today. So as I said in the previous video, I'm gonna take a look at different cannons, and I'm gonna compare it to the one I made myself. This is of course the long-range cannon that I made myself. There's a tutorial on that on my channel, and I'll also leave a link to a tutorial on each cannon. So yeah. Okay. There will not be a tutorial for this cannon though, because I haven't made one, and there could be one on the internet. Never mind. I'll try finding a tutorial for you. Anyway, so this is the cannon I made myself. Please don't blow up. Okay, good. And it shoots out of the screen. So anyway, but let's start off with this, the pros and the cons. This cannon here is heavy on the cons, but also very heavy on the pros. And the pros it'd be sad if the only one. The pro is that it's very reliable. It shoots the same distance almost every time, and your cannonball doesn't have much room to move about, which means it will shoot the same distance almost every time. And it shoots pretty damn far for a cannon this size. Of course, I use twice as much TNT in this design here than any of the other. If I did it without, it would shoot over 100, but yeah. Anyway, so the cons of this are the fact that if you don't have a TNT here, the front will blow off most of the time, and if you have a TNT here, it will sometimes also blow off the front. So that sucks a little bit. Another con is that it spends a shitload of TNT to fire just one bullet. Yeah. So let's take a look at this one. This is sort of the generic go-to cannon. What I've done here is I've put a stair upside down. You could do it the other. Oh shit! Oh, I deleted it. You could do it the other way around. So you could do like this, but I like the way this looks. So yeah. What will this do, you might ask? Before we actually fire it, I can show you. So a good tip is if you wanna test out your cannon. Let's say I wanted to test this out. see if it actually fired the way it's supposed to do. Use these redstone lamps. Of course, you won't have that much access to them if you're not on creative though. But yeah. But using cannons, what I'm talking about, using these lamps here will show you what is ignited potentially. So you can see this row is ignited, and now why do I have a stair here and not just a normal block? Because see now, if I activate it, this will get activated at the same time this will this is activated, and eventually that will lead to your cannonball exploding before it's actually fired. So yeah. Okay, so why do I have the block there? And that is quite simple. Without the block, the TNT will get pushed this way, and it will go off to the side. So we don't want that. Okay, so it's fired. You can see how far it shoots. Should be there, and it is good. This type of cannon is very reliable, but it's very inefficient when it comes to how much TNT spent and redstone spent shooting one ball of TNT. Yeah. Next one here. This is not my design, and it was made by a guy I referred to when I showed you the first tutorial on the long-range cannon. I think his name, what I called him, was Harry, but I'll leave a link to his channel and his tutorial on this cannon here. And what he explained this cannon is that it's very resource light in the matter that, or rather, in the sense that it spends very little hard to get resources on shooting TNT, and it actually shoots quite far. You can see from the holes here that it shoots further than this one, and it uses less TNT. So you can load it up like this with 4, 2, or you can do like this, so with 6. I usually always do it with 6, because yeah, it fills up all it can. Now, something though that is to consider about this cannon type is that it won't work the way it should if there's more than one water source. So if, let's say, I put water in here, this will do like that, and when I block it off, like so, it won't do it the same way. You have to get all your TNT pushed this way for the maximum distance. But yeah, it's not something that's really like really super important, but yeah, just keep that in mind. Whoops. Also, don't make sure you don't accidentally remove the water source. I did that with that cannon actually, but we'll get to that. Okay, so do that and that. Okay. Of course, the distance all depends on your timing. Because it shoots less than it usually did, or as it did before at least. But the thing is, it will be random how far it shoots. There's not much room for control in this little cannon here. You can see now it actually shot further than before, so it's not 100% reliable. It can have a margin of about 30 or 40 blocks of range as to how far it will shoot, and this one actually has a much bigger margin of error. Margin of error, that's the wrong use of the word. No, it has a much bigger margin of how far it shoots, depending on which mood it's in, how the weather is, and so on. That's not really true. That's bullshit. Okay, so what's the pros of this cannon? Well, it's really easy to make. You don't use that much redstone. You actually only use 2 redstone. It's basically all you see here, And yeah, the bad things about this is that it's unreliable. You have to activate it yourself as well. So if you accidentally step on that one first, your whole cannon will blow up. And yeah, so overall this is still better than this cannon here. Okay, now what do we have here? This looks very exotic. It's a cannon I made myself. Not really sure what to call it. It looks sort of like a snake, but yeah, I don't know. But it's a corner cannon. It shoots yeah, whichever way this is, but it shoots not following the lines of the blocks. It actually shoots diagonally. That's what it's called. Diagonally. Oh, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. Anyway, something I can already say which is a problem is I found this in my cannon design world where I usually go to when I can't remember how to build my cannons, and I accidentally put TNT here and blew up my whole cannon. So to make sure that doesn't happen, I put a block on top of it. Okay. Could I also use a lily pad? Yes, I could. That would actually be a better solution, come to think of it. Okay. Then, yeah, don't place TNT there. Good. Place TNT here. You place it like this, and you don't want to place them in the middle because then it won't get ignited, and your TNT will blow up your cannon. And you don't want that to happen, do you? No. That was a hypothetical question. So yeah. It shoots. What's that? That's about 80 or 100. It's probably 100 blocks of range. But it's super hard to calculate that without counting every single fucking block. So I'm not going to do that. Okay, so we have the cannon here. This is the one I showed you in the previous episode. Okay, I forgot to go over the pros and the cons of this. What's the pros? Well, it shoots far, but we already just jumped to the cons. It requires a lot of resources for minimal effect. There's a lot of timing involved as well, which makes it quite difficult. If I change the timing here, it would completely change the distance and so on. So yeah, it's very complicated. Also, I might add that this is also pretty complicated. This here, pros and cons. The pros are the fact that it doesn't need to be reloaded manually, so that's always really nice. It can fire up to, how many shots is that? Up to 10 shots a minute, which is quite fantastic. So yeah, this here, because you have to manually reload it, it can fire maybe 2 shots a minute if you're really fast. So yeah, anyway, so what's the cons? Well, it uses a shitload of materials. It uses lots of dispensers, lots of timing as well, and it can be really complicated because one timing off will completely change the distance and so on. But it also leaves a lot of room for yeah, finesse, I guess. That's probably not the right use of the word. Who cares? Okay. This one here, old buddy of mine. This here and this here, those are both cannons made by, what's his name? Sefbling, yeah. This one is used in his Pirate Battle Royale, and this one is used in his TNT Olympics. This is the trap shooting cannon. Let's just fire it first, then we go through the pros and cons. That's not supposed to happen. Let's try again. That's already a con that it's not always gonna stick it up here as it's supposed to do, not used to do, supposed to do. Okay. It's not really in the mood for working, apparently. It did work 20 minutes ago, so there we go. Right, I think it exploded over the ground. Wait, hold on. This is one of the issues with this. Seriously, get out. Okay, so we start up with the cons with this one. It requires a shitload of redstone, and it's really complicated to build as well. And if you want it in the ground, you have to dig 4 down. Is it actually 4? No, it's actually 3. But yeah, it's really complicated to build, which is a big con. And it's also not 100% reliable, since this doesn't always push the TNT up as it's supposed to do. Demonstrate it again. How it's supposed to do it if it works. Okay, so onto the pros. It's really freaking ingenious, this design. It uses fence posts to sort of hold the let's see if I can actually do it with sand. To sort of hold the block suspended in midair. Okay, that didn't work. But it's really smart. It's really a smart design. And another pro with this is the fact that you can decide how far you want to shoot. Of course, you could also just decide on how much you want to fill it up, but you can have it completely completely filled up. Let's say that instead. Makes more sense. So you can completely filled up and say, I want to fire 4 of these instead of all 7. This will change the distance and so on. So it's really ingenious, and it leaves a lot of room for whatever you're like on how far you want to shoot. It doesn't shoot that far. In actually, the small, very simple cannon shoots further, which is funny. Thinking about this using 7 TNT to fire less than one that uses 6. So it's not very clever in terms of using the materials used, whereas a booster cannon will push it forward. You could make this booster cannon design. I would probably try to do that in the future, but not right now. But yeah, it's a clever design, a lot of room for choice as well, but very complicated. Okay, this one here. This is used in the Pirate Battle Royale. And what I really like about this cannon is that it's vertical rather than horizontal than that most of these cannons are. All of these actually, not really sure if you can count this in, but the rest of them all filled horizontally, where this is filled vertically. So yeah, it's very smart on the way you refill it. You can stand up here and no need to go down or anything. You can fill it up with 10 TNT, which is quite nice. You can see it will put 1 in the water here. Yeah, let's try to fire it. Now it does require a lot of finesse on how far you want to shoot it, because you have to time it yourself. There. You can shoot really high, you can shoot really low, all depending on how you fill it up. So it's really quite clever as well. I mean, SethBling created both of these cannons, so of course it has to be some kind of super ingenious design, but it's really a great cannon this here. And it's really useful for what it was used for, which was ship battle, where you decide how and when to fire. So now the cons of this is the fact that it's also super complicated. It requires a lot of resources to fire one bullet. So yeah. If I had to say the best of these cannons in comparison to how much used and how much gained, I would say this cannon here is probably the best. It's really clever in a way that it uses very little space, very little resources to fire further than most of the cannons. Not really sure. This actually fires lesser distance than the others, I think. Or maybe, no, wait, it shoots really high, so it doesn't explode near the ground. So we can't really count on that, I guess. It would probably shoot further, though. But, which is my favorite of these cannons? You already know that. That's this cannon here. I really like cannons that can shoot far, but also has a con that I haven't mentioned, and that's the fact that the TNT is sort of like sliding along the ground. Which is not really true because it's still maybe an inch or two above the ground, but that means I could, let's see here, let's just find a path. Let's say here, I wanted to explode there, I just put a block. That's all I need to do. And it will hit that block. I'm not kidding. Something else that's actually also really great about this cannon is something that's not true about the others, and that's the fact that it sticks to the same block, so it won't move to the side at all. So let's try it out. See. And yeah, that's both a good and a bad thing. But yeah, so as I said, I will have tutorials for all these cannons except that one, and the last one here. I can actually do a tutorial for this just quickly. Might as well. I'm not really sure how long I've been recording though, so it's gonna be a pretty long video. Hope you don't mind. You can always stop it whenever you want, of course, or watch it in stages or something. But I actually usually find that long videos are quite cozy, I might say. That's probably a bad use of the word as well. You know, I'm not really good at using English words all the time, especially not the complicated ones. No. What a surprise, yeah. It's not like it's been that all the freaking time. Just kidding, it has. All the time. So yeah, what do I need for this here? Oh yeah, half slab. Okay, let's get rid of that. Oh, where did my lily pad go? Okay, so this is all you need. You need TNT, redstone, dust, redstone repeater, button, water bucket, something block, and a half slab. And something to cover up your water. It can be a lily pad, it can be a piece of string, or it can be a normal block. Just has to make sure that you don't place a block on top of the water source. So yeah, you start off like this. Build this V shape here. Then you do that. Put your water here. Like so. Okay, and you just want to do that until the water stops, which is here. Okay, then you put, right here, you put your half slab, then you do 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. This is to hold your TNT in place, to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Then you do like so. Let me just check here. Okay. Very simple though. Put redstone dust here. This here won't activate anything underneath it, like the redstone does. This will activate it in front of it though, but so if you had if you had a block here, it would activate the thing below it though, but we don't. So use redstone. Dust. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The last one here you put to 3 ticks, and the rest you put to 4. If you put this to 4 ticks, it won't work as intended, and might blow up. Can't really remember if it actually blew up when I did it, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, now put your lily pad down. I'm actually gonna do something I just thought of, and all the places I can put a block, I'm gonna put glowstone. So I remember which places I can use. Whoops. So I remember which places I can place my TNT and where I cannot. So put your TNT down like so. It holds 8 TNT pieces and or blocks rather, and it shoots any distance, I guess. So that's your cannon. Let's hope it doesn't explode. Didn't. Great. That's your cannon, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial here. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, and if you found this tutorial or any of the other tutorials in the series good, leave some feedback on what I can perhaps do next time. I was thinking about different kinds of reloading. There's manual, there's mechanical, and there's piston not piston, dispenser. So I could probably take a look at that next time. So yeah. But yeah, leave a comment if you want to request anything. It doesn't really have to be cannons. It could be something with redstone. I have a pretty good idea of how most things work with redstone, so I could probably do something along those lines. But yeah, if you liked this video, as I said before, don't forget to leave a like. It really cheers me up when I'm in a bad mood. Yeah, and also makes it easier for other people to find it, people who haven't been on my channel before. And if you want to show your support to my channel, yes, that's how it's pronounced. If you want to show your support to my channel, you can subscribe. You can also do that if you want to be notified about future uploads. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.